Alright guys, welcome to part 3 on the 1979 or 1980 Sullivan figure of the year. I believe it's a 79. Rm125. As you guys know, we picked this up a couple videos ago for $100 and we got it running, I think, last video, but we found out that it was not running right. And I checked compression. We got I think it was like 155 pounds of compression on this thing, which is really good. We cleaned out the carburetor. There's no air leaks on this thing. We cleaned out the pipe, thinking it maybe was a clogged pipe. Wasn't the pipe. The air filter's not restricting it. So really the only thing left was the CDI and the stator. And I found out that we were actually running the wrong CDI and stator for it. The CDI and stator that we were running were over here. And it turns out, after I looked it up on eBay, that these are actually for, let's see, where's my other stator at? Might be on this bike. I don't know where the other stator went. So the CDI right here and the stator, oh, right here, were actually for this Rm125 right here. So we tried to install this CDI right here with the other stator that came with the bike, and we were getting good voltage out of this stator, but as soon as we hooked up the CDI, we were getting no voltage from the CDI because the CDI hooks into these wires right there, into here, and then these two wires actually go to the coil right here. And we were getting nothing from these two wires. So that kind of told me that it was the CDI. So we went online and I found a CDI for, I think it was like $85. You can see Rm125. It took me a long time to find this because on eBay it wasn't labeled as a 1979 Rm125. I kind of had to go off the picture and the part number. So I looked up a diagram online, found the correct CDI and the correct attachments for it. You can see there's a 3-plug, and then there's a blue wire right there, and then this is the kill switch wire, and then the two that go to the coil. So that's the correct CDI right here, and we're going to attempt to hook that up today and see if we've got good spark, because this CDI did not produce spark. So we're hoping that once we hook this one up, we'll have spark and it should run correctly. I also got the throttle fixed, so that's working now. That broke last video, and I think the only thing left to do, if it does run right, is to get the chain on. And I'm thinking we can just grab this chain off of here. I know it's rusty, but it might be the only one I have that might work. So just to attempt to ride it today, if it does fire up. But anyway, let's get going on this thing. Let's get the CDI installed and see if that makes a difference. Alright, so coming from the stator, we've got these 3 wires. We've got the new CDI here. Grab the plug. And the attachments look pretty good. So we're just going to plug her in like that. Ooh. And then the blue wire goes to the blue wire right here. Hook that guy up. We're going to leave the kill switch off for now, just in case the kill switch doesn't work. Then we're going to go up to the coil. Up here, and you can see the attachment for it. Just gonna plug that guy in, and I'm just gonna put this up here in the corner for now. And this will be interesting. Will we get spark? So let's just see if we got something here. You guys keep an eye on that. Gonna kick her over. Hopefully we've got something. Oh yeah. We got something here. We got good spark. Well, that's a good sign. It's a great sign. So let's get that spark plug in, get some gas going on this thing, and let's see if this thing fires up and runs correctly. Because last time what it was doing was just bogging out and it wouldn't rev out all the way. So as soon as you twisted the throttle, it would just go brrr and it wouldn't ever rev out completely. So we're hoping this solves that problem. Spark plug going back in. Good gas flow going down there. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully she starts up. All right, let's see, moment of truth here. I gotta get a boot on for this. Alright, doesn't want to start. Alright, so for some reason it's not firing up. So I think it might be sparking at the wrong time. So I switched the stator plate to the opposite side, so now the wires are coming out of this side. You can set it both ways, but the line you'd think would be, see the arrow? Right, where is it? Somewhere over here. Oh, there's a line right there. You'd think it would be lined up with over here, but who knows? So we switch that. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully she fires up. Oiling and everything. All right, well, that was a fix for sure. You can see it rev out completely. It fired up like first kick. Bet you it'll fire up like right now. Yeah, first kick, idles perfectly. I'd say that's fixed. That sounds really good. That is awesome. We're just missing the cover right here for it. But yeah, that is sweet. I did not think that was gonna work. But yeah, that was the culprit. So the wrong CDI and stator caused it to bog down and not rev out completely, which would make sense, but yeah, that's awesome. And then our throttle works again, that's sweet. Idling perfectly, nice and low. Our brakes work. So really, we just need to get a chain on this thing and we can take this thing for a test drive. So let's try to rob the chain from that bike over there, see if it'll fit, and go from there. We gotta get all these wires tucked up onto the frame right here, out of the way of the pipe. I'm pretty sure what they do is they come up through here. They must go up through the frame over there so they don't touch the pipe. But we do have an exhaust leak coming from right there, but that's not a big deal. We can order up an exhaust gasket for it, and probably like a new seat cover. This thing's gonna be ripping. Alright, so we got all the wires underneath the tank down here all tidied up. Looking pretty good, out of the way of the heat. So really we're just missing that side cover, and I'll order that up pretty soon here. I tried to take off the chain off of the other bike over there, the Rm125, and unfortunately this chain is different than the one we need. The one we need is a 428 by 132 chain, and kind of custom for this bike. But yeah, so I ordered that up. That's coming tomorrow, so we won't be able to ride it until tomorrow. I'm going to order up some new grips as well. These grips are really crappy, and grips are like $9, so it doesn't hurt to order some grips up. And then this bike will be pretty much ready to ride. This one actually looks pretty good. Decent tread left on them. So, and they're not too dry rotted, actually. So that should work out pretty well. But we'll come back tomorrow, install the chain, and take it for the first test drive. I'm just happy the CDI and that stator worked for it. Alright, chain came. So we've got the new chain installed. Pretty smooth on there. I didn't have to adjust the wheel at all. It was the perfect size. Kind of weird how the roller is up that high, but I guess that's how it is. And here's like the tensioner right there. Kind of interesting how that goes on there, but it's all set to go. I just put some 40-to-1 in the gas tank, so that's all set. Pumped the tires a little bit. Those were a little bit flat, so those are holding air. A bunch of water came out of this one, and that's holding air, it seems like, so we should be all good there. So without further ado, let's load her up and take it for a ride. I'm not sure if the clutch works yet, so we'll have to test it out when we get there, but it does squeeze in, so that's a good start. But both brakes work, so we don't have to worry about that. We can stop at least. But yeah, let's get her loaded up and go for the first ride. Alright, all loaded up. Pretty excited to ride this thing. Should be pretty fun. I've never ridden a 1979 Rm125 before, so it'll be awesome. And it's running great right now, so should be pretty fun. Alright, wait her out here. Check it out. The finished product. This one might be a restorable bike because it really doesn't need a whole lot. I think the front fender and the gas tank would buff out, and then if you powder coat the frame, paint up the head and the cylinder and the pipe, have those sandblasted and painted, I mean, this thing would be pretty sweet looking. New seat cover, but we'll see how it rides today. We still have to get that cover for it too. I've been looking around for one. But let's fire it up and see if that clutch works. We'll let her warm up, get those clutch plates nice and hot. Oh yeah, smell that. So far it's running great. Alright, first attempt on riding it. Here we go. Alright, so far the clutch works, so that's good. It's running pretty good, just has to clear out a bit. It's a good sign that it's still idling. Oh, it's leaking gas. Why is it doing that? We don't want it to leak gas, so we'll check out the carburetor one more time and come back. Alright, so I ended up taking apart the carburetor again, and there was a little piece of like grass stuck in between the float needle. So that was causing the needle to not close all the way, causing gas to flow freely out the carburetor. So let's see if that fixed the problem. Turn it on, blow out of one of these tubes if it doesn't shut off, and I think we're going to be good. Yeah, we're fine. The mosquitoes are horrible over here. Alright, here we go. First ride with the GoPro. Let's see how she does. Seems like we might have like an air leak. Wonder if I blew a seal. Yeah, it doesn't sound right. Is it still leaking gas? Not leaking gas anymore. Oh, the choke was on. That's probably not good to ride it with the choke on. Is all my gas out? Sound like we were running out of gas here. That doesn't sound good. There we go. It's acting kind of weird. Clearing out a little bit. Still feels weird. Like it's running lean. Let's see if it's leaking gas. I don't like the sound of that. It sounds like it's not getting gas or something. That sounds really weird. I don't know, with the choke on it runs horrible. Well, I don't know. Let's see if it's getting gas here. Should be. Yep, getting gas. That's kind of loose right there, supporting it to the engine. Might go tighten that back up. We also don't have an air filter in it, so that's probably not helping out too much. But it does sound like it's running a bit lean, which is not good. You can hear it kind of sputter. Starts right back up, but something's going on. You can hear it. It's weird. Alright, back from the first real ride, and it sounds like it's running a little bit lean. This clamp right here was a little bit loose, so I'm wondering if that was making it a little bit lean. I tightened that up. We're going to check the plug, see what color that is. Dark color means it's running rich. Light color means lean. It just seems like it's running weird. It almost sounds like electrical, or like it's running really lean. Just odd sounding. Oh man, that's like perfect. Look at nice and brown. So I don't think it's running poorly. Might have just been that. Sounds just like an air leak or something. Carburetor's not leaking anymore, so that's good. I don't know what that would be. Get the spark plug back in. Could it be our spark plug cap or something? We're gonna trim that off a little bit, see if it runs better. Again, when I swapped it over to a different bike. So maybe that's the problem. Tighten this guy down too. The spark plug cap is a little bit loose on there. Alright, we tightened a couple clamps. I messed with the throttle a little bit. And then we messed with the spark plug a little bit. The spark plug was brown, so I don't know. We'll see if it does better this run. So he's got that like low bog, early throttle. When you put it in gear, go take her down a path here. With the crank seal, it wouldn't have that much power, I don't think. So, maybe it's jetted wrong. Doesn't run like horribly if you shift up fast enough. I don't know. Alright, so none of the improvements helped. Tightening up that carburetor boot didn't really seem to help. But it does sound like it's probably jetted wrong, or, you know, because we don't have the air filter in there, it's running a little bit too lean. So we may need that restriction on the intake of the carburetor to make it right. we are going to check the carburetor jets and see what kind of jets we're running, just in case somebody tried to lean them out or something. And then I've got the jets at home, so we can't really do that today. But next video we'll try to rejet this thing, get an air filter for it, and see if that fixes the problem. But it idles all day, and it does have good power once you get through the gears. It's just low end power is kind of lacking. It kind of bogs on takeoff, and it's kind of like lacking power down low. So alright, so with the choke on, it runs worse, which would mean that it's probably running too rich, but I'm not positive. The needle clip is in the second position from the top, and that means that it is getting less fuel because the needle's going further down into the carburetor. So if it was like right in the middle, the needle would be sitting up higher, allowing more fuel through. So if it's running lean, we want to move the clip position down so that the needle's sitting further up in the carburetor and allowing more fuel in. So imagine that the circle is allowing fuel in and the clip is sitting like right here. It's not allowing much fuel in, but if it's raised up higher, it's making that gap bigger, allowing more fuel in. So we're going to try to lower it one clip, and we'll see what that does for us. Probably won't do much, but it doesn't hurt to try. Alright, so we moved the needle clip position to make it a little bit more rich. Let's see what happens here. Already I can tell it's probably not going to make much of a difference. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Yeah, it's not better. I can tell you that. I don't know, it's a tough one. We can't really figure it out until we put the air filter on though. So, anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'm just happy this thing runs. It was $100, so can't really go wrong for $100. It's a running, driving bike for $100. So, yeah, anyway guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next video. Until next time, we are out.